What if your mornings could be inspiring and ridiculously fun?
Kindness Rising isn't just a show, it's a full wake-up vibe.
It's freaking fun, people.
Yeah, man, it's got real get after it energy.
I love it.
Wake up with Kindness Rising.
I help purpose-driven people grow their impact. 5-ingredient recipe to help you build your personal brand. Get out there and take kind action.
If it's live, they'll feel it.
On Kindness Rising, we bring you proven strategies and fresh ideas you can actually use. If you're not failing, you're not trying.
Exactly. Fail fast, rebound faster.
You'll see the bloopers and the genuine connections that make kindness contagious. We sometimes get into a little bit of trouble.
Pretty much my life made the list.
You can trust what you see right here is honest, respectful, and uplifting. Social impact organizations, and we always talk about them. Try kindness. It's way cheaper than therapy. You just made my day. Good morning, friends, and welcome into the Fox Den. I'm Matthew Roof, the Uncommon Kindness Guy, and this is Wednesday of Gratitude Week. And today we are talking about the people who change everything, not our family or our lifelong friends. We always know those people, but I'm talking about the subtle but significant figures who shaped us in ways we often don't realize until later. Stick around. I'll be talking about some stories of my own, of some individuals who had subtle yet significant impact in my 53 years. We're going to have Sensei Whiskers. We're going to have Cal and Stan. We're going to have a little hope, humanity, and heart, because this is Kindness Rising.
This is Kindness Rising.
And today's spark is about those quiet influencers, the people who did not stay in our life forever. They changed the trajectory of it, though. They're not the big names. They're not the ones who gave the most in your personal timeline, but they're the ones who impacted you. And their impact only becomes clear later when you start looking backward on it and start thinking about your life. You reach a certain stage where that nostalgia isn't just for the gadgets or the shows that you watched or the movies that entertained you, but actually start thinking about the people who had impact in your life, subtly or otherwise. And for me, one of those people was a guy named Mr. Fred Kennedy. He was my third grade teacher. That was a tough year for me, a transition from public school to Catholic school. My fine motor skills weren't the greatest. I remember struggling with handwriting and even handling the chess pieces when he was talking about and teaching us how to play chess, and those things felt huge. But here's the thing, Mr. Kennedy, he was patient, he was gentle, and emotionally aware. First time I'd ever really seen emotionally aware. I didn't know what it was. From a man, really, at that point in my life, and it was 1980. So think about 1980. It was the year that John Lennon was assassinated. Pope John Paul II was, there was an assassination attempt on him. As a kid, the world was confusing and it was heavy. And I remember Mr. Kennedy standing in front of our class the day after Lennon was murdered and sharing his grief. He cried, his disbelief, his inability to explain what happened to one of his heroes. And I remember that. I don't remember the exact words he said. I don't remember, how I really felt about Lennon at the time. I probably barely knew what the Beatles were, really, but I do remember that feeling and a man showing emotional intelligence in real time. And that was huge. It was huge. I've talked about him before. I'm talking about him again. He taught me how to be present and compassionate when I look back on those things long after third grade ended. And the coolest part of that is that over the summertime, over the summertime, Fred found me on Facebook. He's still around. He went to work over, I don't know what it is, 30, 40 miles away from here, and has retired now as a teacher. And we're going to find a way to get connected again so I can share that story with him. I already shared my gratitude with him back when we originally connected, but maybe I'll reach out to him again today and remind him just how much of an impact he had. Thank you for joining me here on Kindness Rising. I'm Matt Roof, the Uncommon Kindness Guy. We get up talking about things that are getting us, keeping us positive, rising above the noise, thinking about the good things in our lives, the positivity, personal development, all those things that just make life a little bit better than listening to the noise. And a guy named Mike Sullivan apologizes for being late. Mike, you never have to apologize. I just appreciate that you show up here every day. Get involved in the comments, people. Talk to me. Actually, here, talk amongst yourselves. I do feel a little bit like Mike Myers, but I like this idea. I like this idea. Here is a question for you. Who shaped the version of you that people see today? I'll tell you, Fred Kennedy was one of the people who shaped the person you see today. And I was glad to share that story about it. Let's see what Cal and Stan have cooking for this topic about.
Stan, who's someone you're grateful for? Someone who really helped you in life?
Easy. You.
Really? That's actually cool.
Yeah. You make me look responsible.
There you go. They're helping each other out. All right. So yeah, that was huge. Fred Kennedy, we can laugh about it. We all have friends like that too, who we know maybe had either make us look good, like Stan seems to think Cal does, or that really impact us and bust our chops a little bit. Right? That's fun too. Keep us humble, I guess I should say. Oh, excuse me. Speaking about keeping humble, I need to keep humble about my snorting, for God's sakes. All right. So we always talk about good organizations, people who are out there doing good, multiplying kindness and unlocking growth along around our subject matter. And today I'm talking about an organization called Mentors, the one who show up often briefly, but with impact that lasts a lifetime. A true mentor may not even know the difference that they made. Sometimes it's a coach, it's a teacher, a supervisor, someone who saw you clearly at the exact moment that you needed it. It isn't always formal. It's about presence and consistency and willing to invest in someone else's growth. Are you a mentor? Do you mentor someone who has mentored you? If you had someone like that, honor them today. And if you can be that for someone else, even briefly, step into that role. Mentorship multiplies kindness across generations, across all the lines that divide us. Be a mentor. Thanks. That's today's Kindness Valley. Oh, and check out Mentors, the organization, not Mentos, not the little mints you drop in Coke and make explode. I'm talking about Mentors. Mentors. It's an organization that's they are basically a clearinghouse for all different kinds of organizations that provide mentorship and growth. So it's like the one place. It's like the Google of mentorship. Just kidding. Anyway, that's me just riffing. Someone tell me to stop. No. Oswald from the Drew Care Show. Oh, Charlie Kirk. Interesting. Yeah. Jimi Hendrix. Jimi Hendrix, welcome. JLBCG. Yes. I am glad to be here. Who is Oswald from the Drew Care? Oh, I know that guy. Yeah. Am I? Yeah, I guess he would wear a bandana, I think. Yeah. What's the guy's name? I forget the actor's name. Anyway, I appreciate JLBCG that you came here, and Jimi Hendrix Boulevard. I'm interested in what you have to say here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. There you go. You're welcome, DMEL79992. Welcome, welcome. Get up early. Subscribe to the channel. Join us every day for gratitude, for a little bit of hope, and have a little fun too along the way, because we get real and we get fun. And I'm not here to preach and teach, but I do have some wisdom I've learned along the way, and some things I like to talk about, such as the good times. Be kind, rewind. We talk about those things from our lives that had an impact on us. I talk about the things I think about, the objects, the shows, the fandoms, all those things from back in the day to get us thinking about the subjects that we're talking about. And today's rewind is the Swiss Army knife, the original multi-tool of a Gen X youth. Remember, the only choice you had was the red one, and whether you had the big fat one, that was always the coveted item, the big one that had a knife and a spoon and a fork and everything else, or you had the regular Swiss Army knife, just with a couple of tools on it. Now you can buy all kinds of multi-tools out there. They're pretty cool. But the Swiss Army knife was a big deal because you weren't cool unless you had one, at least in my world. And it taught us something. It taught us versatility, adaptability, and the idea that you could face a problem with more than one approach. As adults, we discover the human version of that tool set, the emotional Swiss Army knives who showed us how to handle life's sharp edges. And those are the mentors we're talking about today, helping build the little toolkit inside us, whether that's an emotional tool, whether that was education, whether it was a model and an example of how to live a life of meaning and of purpose. That those are the people we're talking about, because they added tools to our toolkit even when we didn't know we needed it. And that's it. All right. Well, I'm glad you chose to join us, D-Mel, here while you have some time this morning. I am here every morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, and you can find me on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on Facebook too. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube. Join us live every morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, to get up and get after it on the Mornings in the Lab network. We're part of a network of shows that gets people going in the morning. It doesn't have to be in the morning, though. If you want to go live and you want to have your own show, we don't know how to do it. I know someone who does. It's me, and it's Keith Billis over at Mornings in the Lab Network, and we can help you to go live, because it isn't just a button. It's a commitment to presence. It's choosing connection over control and saying, I'm here exactly as I am, and that's enough to get started. That's what I did 6 months ago when I went live. I continue to do it every day, 7:30 a.m. Eastern. A cogent dude. I'm cogent and I'm the dude. You know what? I appreciate that I'm cogent. That's a great word, Turk Wendell. Yeah, I am a little bit of a cogent dude. That's a good vibe. I love Lebowski. Absolutely. Absolutely. I do abide that, Turk Wendell. D-Mel, not to interrupt you too much, but do you repost your live chats? Absolutely. My lives are oh geez, I keep kicking. Stan. My live streams are on YouTube. If that's what you're asking, you absolutely can watch the full episodes later by subscribing to Kindness Rising on YouTube, and coming back and visit there every single day. It takes several hours for YouTube to process it up to the live section on the page, but it is there. I also post shorts and some videos and other nonsense using both human and AI tools to spread my message. Join the community. I'm trying to build an ecosystem. If that's what you're trying, I am building. I'm not trying anything. I am building it. By you showing up, it automatically makes it an ecosystem. Kindness Rising ecosystem, a community where people get together who are minded towards having civil conversation, minded towards having personal accountability and growth, and also want to have some fun. Absolutely. Take a look. Appreciate that you came and spent the time with us today. DML7992. And of course, had to get a 6-7 in there, Caden. Good Lord. Caden, congratulations. You are my first 6-7. Woohoo! Dude, all right. This show's okay for kids. You probably aren't gonna love it, but maybe you will. Tell your mom and dad about it though. Standard YouTuber, what's up? Hello, 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 and welcome in to Kindness Rising. Do I have a favorite rapper? Yours is Eminem. Then you need to get over to Mornings in the Lab Network with Keith, John, and friends. Keith Billis is one of the biggest Eminem guys I know. I'm not sure if I have a favorite rapper. I will tell you that I definitely am into older school, even older than Eminem school, where I grew up with hip hop. You're talking about all the big name hip hop guys from the 80s, people from the 80s. We're talking about things like Run DMC and Grandmaster Flash and the Sugar Hill Gang and that kind of thing. That's my cred. That's my timeline on rap. Not that I didn't listen to Biggie and Tupac and all the others too sometimes, but I'm 53 years old, dude. 53 years old. So at some point you're like, all right, every once in a while. I love listening to new music though. My kids introduced me to new music. I haven't fallen in love with any of the rapper. Like I get the Kendrick Lamar thing. Absolutely. I get his message and the cultural impact. Huge. It's not my preference. Doesn't mean I can't understand it and understand why someone would want to be interested in that. And I think it's freaking cool that Bad Bunny is doing the Super Bowl. Anything that expands cultural horizons or interest in a way that is non-exploitive, I'm all for it. Absolutely. I definitely listened to M. So I'll remember the times when I first heard Eminem, same times that he basically came onto the scene. I will tell you that The Chronic is my favorite rap album, so there's my Eminem connection. Definitely Dre. I like that. Country music, standard YouTuber. Here's the thing about country music for me. I listen to it. I've heard it. There's a lot of it around here. My kids are into it. And again, I guess maybe this is becoming the theme. I understand the roots of the country music and the importance on it, the importance of it. Absolutely, so I get into jam bands, right? So I'm the Grateful Dead, Fish, those guys. But all those influences, earlier influences, like Johnny Cash as an example, I guess that's country music. Absolutely. So yeah, my kids, especially my child, Meryl, who's in Rockport, is huge into country music right now. I think you do reach a point, though. It's interesting that this conversation, you do reach a point where it's just kind of like, all right, now I've found my style and my vibe. Now I'm finding variations of that. There's so much music out there in the world. Standard YouTuber, get off to school, buddy. Absolutely get off to school. I hope you have a great day at school. And whatever it is you're learning, learn it well. And come back 7:30 a.m. if you like. All right. So I talked to you a little bit about going live and Mornings in the Lab. Absolutely. We are part of a network. It's the Mornings in the Lab network. And the next show is Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and Friends, our flagship show, the big show, as we call it. And I open up for Keith, John, and Friends, who are also going to be helping you today. I'll talk a little bit further about helping, entertaining, joining, all those things. That's what we do. We entertain, we inform, we educate, we communicate, we build community. Those are the things we're doing. And another element that is helping us with that is our friend since A Whiskers. So let's talk to him.
How do I honor the people who shaped me?
By telling them gratitude grows stronger when spoken. Even a purr must be heard.
Whoa! Ha! Amazing.
That was quite a cry by Sensei Whiskers. Yeah, absolutely. Tell the people who made a difference, people who maybe you think about once in a while and they pop into your mind and you're like, oh, or something triggers and you're like, oh, wow, I learned that from that person. Absolutely. And reach out to them. Just drop a message, say hi and thanks. Thinking of you. You don't have to be a big thing. I've gotten caught up in that when I've wanted to reach out back to people. I'm like, how do I make it a thing? And I remember you and whatever. No, just hey, thinking of you. It's enough. It's enough to make the connection. It's enough for that person to know that they had that impact on you. And then if it goes somewhere else in terms of the conversation, or you go and you meet up with a person you haven't met up with in a while, or remember a feeling that you had, that's pretty cool. Only music genre is one with a message in the lyrics: love, politics, life messages. I listen to the lyrics too for messages, sometimes subtle, sometimes not. But I agree that obviously the lyrics are an important part, but I don't think it's the only. There's a lot of band. I'm a jam band guy, so yeah, I'm going to listen to a 20-minute song by the Grateful Dead, and maybe some of the lyrics are connected too. But I think that music, the ability for music to take you somewhere and take you on a journey, that's why I love the music that I love. I've actually been getting even heavier into Fish lately, and I mean that's like they're telling stories and connections, and there's some that have a political message or a deeper message, but for me it's about the journey of music. Kind of like I was talking to my kid about it the other day. For me, I think it feels to me like almost like classical music to a certain degree, in that there's like sections of the song and there's movements, and the song takes you from A to up to down, the emotion, all that stuff. When you really connect to it and hear like motifs. I'm going to get geeky. Motifs or themes of the song, or a certain pattern, whatever it is that connects through the song, but it changes too. Like the bass line stays the same, but everything else builds around it. I don't know. I just think that's cool, and it helps me. Mom, willing, yes, a little before the jam band, Mom. Yeah, but Willie is definitely one of those huge influences, country influences on the Grateful Dead. Um, you know, absolutely on that whole the whole genre, and he's part of that world for sure, along with other folk musicians like Willie and like Dylan, right? Bob Dylan. So yeah. Global Solidarity, a good Hallmark movie. Is there such a thing? That's an oxymoron, isn't it? No, I'm just kidding. I didn't get into the Hallmark movies. My wife and kids watch them. Um, sometimes I'll sit through one, but Girls Returns Hometown finds love with the guy. Her, yes, exactly. Yes, the, whatever. It's all good. There are people who love them, and I understand the guilty pleasure of it and the escape. And even though it's formulaic, you still watch it, and it's pretty, and the music is good and bright, and it evokes a feeling. So there's nothing wrong with that. It's just not something I personally seek out as far as my emotional. Although I will put in a plug for a movie if I haven't talked about it. Saw a movie this weekend that I didn't even know existed. Apparently it happened back in 2023, and it was during the writer's strike. My child reminded me about. And even if you don't care about the subject matter, especially if you lived in the 80s, you grew up or were in the 80s, even if you don't care about the subject matter, even if you don't care about the NBA or Michael Jordan, there is a movie called Air, AIR, Air. It is streaming right now, I believe, on Prime. Um, it's a really good movie. Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, Jason Bateman, like great actors, written and directed actually by Affleck, um, who wrote Argo, award-winning movie. Great cinematography, amazing nostalgia and history for the 80s, and a really cool story, regardless of whether you like the NBA, Michael Jordan, rap music, any of that stuff. It's just a really well done movie. The fact that myself, my wife, and my 20-year-old could watch the movie and all walk away going, "Oh man, that was a good movie," tells you something. My AI avatars are country music fans. Actually, Cal and Stan started off. They met on tour. They met on tour on a jam band festival, actually, and they became best friends and have been hanging out. And they're kind of Bert and Ernie coded, right? But so stupid. It's silly. I love it though. It's not stupid. It's like stupid, but it's silly. It's silly. So thanks. Yeah, no, they are they're jam band fans for sure. If you go back and look at some of the original Cal and Stan, maybe we'll get back to that depending on how I got to make some changes as far as that goes. They need a little change in their lives too. But anyway, thank you for joining me here on Kindness Rising. I didn't even get to my second mentor person. I talked so freaking much. The time flew by, and I didn't get to my second mentor. So you know what I'm going to do? I am going to bump him. He won't mind. He doesn't even know I'm doing it. But maybe he'll come back tomorrow morning. I'm going to add him. Maybe not tomorrow, Friday. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving, but guess what? I'm going to be here 7:30 a.m. Eastern here with Kindness Rising because I show up every day for that purpose. Yep. Cat will lead them to enlightenment. Absolutely. Reggie and Sensei, Reggie/Sensei are trying to help Cal and Stan move on in their lives, grow a little bit. It's a struggle. But what's not a struggle is getting over to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. Keith is over there today, and today he is talking about something that some men feel, but almost none talk about, and that is isolation, feeling alone in a crowded world, disconnected in rooms full of people. Keith's episode today is Alone in a Crowd, Why So Many Men Feel Isolated and How to Fix It. It's not just timely, it's necessary. Get on over there to Mornings in the Lab with Keith and friends. Thank you for joining me here on Kindness Rising. I come here every weekday, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, to help you rise with a little hope, humanity, and heart. So I will see you tomorrow morning, 7:30 a.m. And until then, stay uncommon and stay kind.
Okay, Matt, we got the memo about the Kindness Rising promo, but what exactly are we promising people?
And is there craft services? Hey, I need snacks too.
Gentlemen, focus. Kindness Rising multiplies kindness, and helps people get up on the right side of the bed.
So wait, we're not doing another angry headline show.
Exactly. We rise above the negative, divisive noise.
Translation, less rage bait, more high fives for humanity.
And this is live, like actually live.
Yep. We go live on YouTube and LinkedIn, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, every weekday.
Wait, if it's live, what if I forget my lines?
Then you improvise.
Okay, so our tagline is basically wake up, tune in, and start your day with kindness.
Exactly. Kindness rising, good vibes, practical tips, and a reason to get up on the right side of the bed.
You heard the boss. Subscribe now before he makes us do a TikTok dance.
Kindness rising. Wake up, tune in, and let's make some good noise.